Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain.
And if they had had enough sense to open a book and study history, they wouldn't be going out here and voting these Democrat tickets because the Klan was founded by Democrats.
Bitch, you think it's small. We need to be thinking big. You need to be thinking big, bitch. You need to be thinking big, bitch. Think big, bitch.
He was so cool.
He what?
He looked so cool.
Cool.
You are now tuned in to Method Madness.
Atlanta. Roadside barbecue to farmlands, the concrete jungle in the middle of the trees keeps us weather, beautiful women and long summers. We outside all year. This is the city that never sleeps, the Black Mecca. As a right-to-work state, strip clubs take full advantage, adding to the popularity to my southern home. Atlanta is home to the brave. Through the rays of sun, always pointing at Atlanta, lies a world that never gets a moment of shine. Let's look into the method of madness, of the curse, of the underworld of Atlanta, the death of a rapper. In the city of winners, nothing is what it seems. Atlanta, aka the finesse capital, is shining hard right now throughout the nation. Being a dominant force in hip-hop, the city has a driver's seat to the culture. Through the sounds of 808s, the anthem of the nations are cultivated and influenced by Atlanta. The gritty country city twang outmatches all competition and has held a vice grip on hip-hop over the last 10 years. But the wins wouldn't go without losses. Everything that glitters ain't gold. Even though the Black Mecca is a thriving city with more black wealth than anywhere in the nation, it still can't escape the nation's uptick in crime. Being a city no bigger than a stone's throw, things get lawless. Granted, things have always been rough in the city. Something would break, the evil would be unleashed on the city, striking fear in everyone. The burglar bars went up and the guns came out. Atlanta would never be the same. The hottest summer to hit Atlanta's music, 2016, was on the horizon. Time was promising. Plenty of new artists were coming out. Hollywood was moving to Atlanta and the city was sprawling. Countless wins were in the Southern capital's future, but it would come at a price. Love for gold. Everyone's attention would be turned to the South. At the same time, the effect of the demolition of the local hoods in Atlanta would start to become apparent. Being all minorities were being pushed to confine living spaces. The struggle for resources was on. The war for turf had started. There was no room for two kings, which was already illustrated in the Atlanta beef between Shawty Low and T.I. In years prior, people would settle their differences with a fist fight, but after the Gucci Jeezy beef, gunfire would seem to be regular business. Being a right-to-carry state, Georgia has always been a safe place. But not anymore. That ideal would fade after social media amplified embarrassment. People couldn't take it. Clout would slowly become everything to the young mind, adding the final ingredient to the madness that would be Atlanta's streets, formerly known for its well-off black citizens like doctors, lawyers, accountants, etc. Now, Atlanta would be showcased for its drug dealers, rappers, and scammers. From the home of the brave to the home of the finesse, the dark side stole Atlanta right from up under our nose. Bankroll Fresh was the first evil statement. Trentavious White, 28 at the time, was a rising star, the hope of the streets of Atlanta. The Migos and others were out, but there wasn't anybody realer than Bankroll Fresh at the time. One crazy night, the evil would strike. Bankroll was struck by multiple bullets, rushed to the hospital, and was later pronounced dead. It seemed that was the first claw evil could get in Atlanta's skin. The hottest out on the block got took down, and for what seemed like nothing, anybody could get touched if the hood hero fell. Safety was long forgotten. Atlanta was steady pushed through the losses. With a renewed sense of confidence and an eye on the music industry, Atlanta licked its wounds and got back to it. As the nation picked up the Southern lingo, Atlanta had a running start. Everyone was looking for something to see, and Atlanta had just that. a show.
Surveillance video from the night a local rapper was shot at a Buckhead Waffle House. The video shows a man with a gun walking through that Waffle House. Officers say they got a call about shots fired at the restaurant on Piedmont Road just before 4 o'clock in the morning on December 27th. Police tell us the shooter and the victim had left the scene by the time they arrived. Now, the victim was later found at Piedmont Hospital and identified as rapper Young Mozzie.
Police investigating a deadly double shooting. This is on McDaniel.
Authorities plan to announce a second death in that already deadly shooting at Atlanta.
Southwest Atlanta after 3 children were shot overnight.
A music producer dies in a shooting. Police
at downtown Atlanta food court. Police say a convicted felon shot 3 people there.
That's when
Fear would control the next few years. The curse was cursing. Mozzie's death was a huge blow to Atlanta's hip-hop scene. He wasn't widely known, but he had a lot of potential and was attempting to put a stop to the narrative of violence. Having a checkered past, he wouldn't be able to escape the karma of his actions. 3 friends from North Atlanta would conjure up a dream, and what do you think happened? They would walk it like they dreamt it, flying to mainstream households in the same time it took to snap a finger. Meteoric is the only description for the rise of the new crew. Migos bumped in every radio across the nation, further spreading the culture of Atlanta, popularizing Atlanta's style across the world, changing the way of all things, down to how we pronounce each word. They are part of the reason a black person from Idaho hosts a southern dialect. They took the Waka Flocka Gucci sound global. From Golden Glide to Grammys, the Migos trio seemed unstoppable. Monumental success would follow the clip, so they figured they would try their solo routes. And what do you know? That was a success as well. Until that crazy day in Tennessee, Takeoff was fatally gunned down. The curse was growing. As the years passed, there was always some good going on. Young Thug, Lil Baby, Gunna, and other Atlanta rappers were getting fame faster than they ever thought possible, all while dodging trouble, allegedly. There was fear in the streets and hearts of Atlanta. Mothers wanted their sons safe. The city was dropping talent like flies. It seemed like everyone was angry, and rightfully so. Gangs dominated Atlanta, where before this was unheard of. It was more of a neighborhood thing. Southern hospitality was out the window, and the evil was winning the spiritual battle for the hearts of Atlanta. There was a boogeyman, and he was hunting the sons of Atlanta. Little Key OD providing more proof to the theory Atlanta was cursed. The drug rage-filled culture continued to grow, and drill music didn't make it any better. Trouble would strike again, taking our well-loved leader, Trouble. The lifestyle was catching up to many in the hip-hop industry. Maybe they made it a little too late, or they just couldn't run fast enough. Either way, something was afoot. Blood was shed, and it would seem like we wouldn't go a few months without losing another rapper. While feeling some type of way about the curse of Atlanta, it happened again. Rich homie Quan OD'd. We lost another one. At this rate, we wouldn't have a native Atlanta rapper left in a few years. So this whole curse thing seemed to be perfect, too real. Not only are Atlanta rappers dying, rappers coming to Atlanta pass away as well. When will the madness be done? Being a rapper seems to be the most dangerous job. The rate that they die, I don't see why so many people line up to try. It's hard to get out. There aren't many ways available for underprivileged youth to take, and the most popular are playing ball and rapping, just to be honest. But why? We're causing our own curse by putting our heart on limited opportunities, making this death gang spiral go on far longer than it should. Do what thy wilt at the end of the day. Let's break the curse. R.I.P. Young Scooter.